everybody, I'm Jesse, and welcome to another edition of Gen X Thinks. And today I'm going to talk about patriotism and taxes and what it means to be a patriot, here in the United States anyway. Now, for a long time, we had what do you call the right or Republican. It varies from country to country in Western civilization. But, and these were basically patriots. They have for a long time. And a lot of people are fooled into believing that this is the case today. That's still what's happening today. But it most definitely is not. Patriots were, we were supposed to, we pay our taxes and we do the right thing. We support the working man and support welfare programs. We go off to fight our wars to defend America and all this stuff. That was basically what a patriot was, what a right-wing Republican patriot was back in the day. Now, all of that has changed. Now we're led to believe that that's still the case. Now that is the brainwashing, the propaganda, that is still the case. Now any right-wing Republican who looks around and questions things will see that is not the case anymore. And the same thing with Democrats. If they look into what's going on with the Democratic Party or whatever, the left wing, whatever, they open their eyes, they would see that they're being fooled as well. But I'm talking about patriots now. Now, what is a patriot today? In my opinion, a patriot is someone who supports America, not our American government, not the U.S. government. All right. We realize that taxes are just straight theft. It's just strong-armed robbery. It's taking our money with the threat of violence. And my point there is that we say that, right? And I even fall into that mind trap. Oh, the SNAP beneficiaries, the people who are living on SNAP, are stealing from the taxpayers. Well, in today's day and age, that's just not true. That's not true. We are about or around $37 trillion in debt. So all of our tax money just gets poured into this huge black hole of debt. And if they eliminated all government assistance right now, just shut down all parks, eliminated SNAP, Social Security, Medicaid, all that shit, it would still take literally eternity to pay off that debt. It wouldn't be possible with interest to pay off that debt. It's a non-issue, right? So our money is basically just vanishing into the ether of interest. We pay for nothing anymore. Our tax money goes toward nothing. It just goes to the bank to cover the interest, and we're not even going to be able to cover the interest here in the next few years. So it's literally a big smokescreen, a big magic show. We're told to believe that we are, we're good American taxpayers and we're patriots and you pay your taxes and for the good of the country and the good of the nation, and that's just bullshit. We're being robbed for no reason, just to take our money. They're not even robbing it to enrich themselves because they're already insanely rich beyond comprehension. The bankers that own the Federal Reserve. Those are the bankers that lend money to countries, all right? To countries. They're, Elon Musk is a peon. He's just a peon. He's a citizen. I mean, they might consider him an elite citizen or something, but still, this group of people who own these these central banks they're beyond rich. They're so rich it's beyond our comprehension, really, and they're just robbing us for no reason. We're not paying for SNAP benefits. We're not paying for Medicare. We're not paying for Medicaid and all this shit, Social Security, and all these other things that we think we're paying for, that we're told we're paying for. Right? We're not paying any of that shit. Our money just vanishes into the ether of debt, the ether of interest. That's it. We might as well throw it on a fire and burn it. If it were physical anymore, of course we don't. The massive amount of money is not physical anymore. It's the physical currency floating around in our economy is negligible compared to the just digital shit in the ether. So, yeah, that's one thing. And then we have war, right? We're not defending America anymore. There's no American defense. Nobody's trying to invade us. Nobody's putting boots on the ground of even North America, let alone the United States, right? The last time we had to fight off some country from invading Canada or America or Mexico or some shit. No, nobody's invading. What are we defending, right? Why are we fighting these wars in other countries on the other side of the planet? We're told we're spreading democracy. That's what we're told. Oh, we're spreading democracy. Go die in the desert for the sake of democracy. That's what we're told. And we're supposed to be good patriots, and we're supposed to suit up and ship over there and die for democracy. Except they fail to tell you that the United States is not a democracy. We're a constitutional republic. Yes, we elect some of our officials democratically, but we're not a democracy. If we were a democracy, then the Constitution would just be willy-nilly. Whatever the majority of people wanted the Constitution to say, that's what it would say this year, right? But that's not the way it works. The Constitution is the Constitution. It's the law of the land. That's why we're a constitutional republic. So, yeah, we are not a democracy. We shouldn't be spreading democracy. We shouldn't be fighting for democracy. We should be fighting for freedom and defense of our own nation, in my opinion. All this bullshit going over there, dying in these foreign wars, how is that patriotic? How is that patriotic to go overseas and kill some foreigners in the name of democracy? It's not. It's just not. It's got nothing to do with patriotism, got nothing to do with it, but we're fooled into believing that it does. We're fooled into that, right? We're brainwashed. And I'm including myself. So this kind of thing is what we need to wake up to as a people of Western civilization. I don't know how democracy is presented in Australia or Norway or Germany or France, but here in the United States, patriotism is presented to us in support of our government, right? We got to support the government, and no matter what they do. They want to raise taxes, we support them. They want to wage war, we support them. And that's not the case anymore. The government is bad, The government is doing horrible things to us around the world, to other people around the world, and a lot of citizens of the United States are aware of this. We see what's happening, and we are patriots. We are patriots. Most, I would say most, by far, the large majority of veterans are the patriots like I'm talking about. Real, true patriots. Not just government, sycophants. You know what I mean? People like this idea of having a celebrity to fawn over for some reason, whether it's a music singer or a sports, some kind of sports athlete or a politician. They can just fawn over them and support them no matter what they say, no matter what they do. That's my gal. That's my gal there. I support her no matter what she does. You know? And people fall into that shit. And anybody who questions her, they will defend her to the death. You know? They will defend her to the bone. No matter what, they'll just justify, redirect, lie, whatever it takes to justify that person's actions. And that's the trap a lot of people fall into. So we just need to open our eyes to what's really going on. Start calling a spade, you know what I mean? The SNAP program has nothing to do with our taxes whatsoever. It just doesn't. It doesn't. Our taxes are meaningless. They're just robbing them and burning them up in the fires of interest and in the ether. We could not repay that debt, and that's all we're doing is funneling that money into that debt. They don't hand our money directly to the SNAP recipients. You know what I'm saying? That's not what happens. They want us to think that's what happens, so I can get mad at those damn Democrats for their socialist ideas. But it's just not reality. You know, I just don't want them taking my money and giving it to anyone for anything. Not the SNAP recipients, not the damn Federal Reserve, not to pad politicians' pockets, not to, any of this shit, not to kill people overseas, not to, none of that shit. My money's my money. I want to keep it. I don't see how that's an evil thing. If I want to help somebody with my money, I will help somebody with my money. They should have big, contribution like GoFundMe's for SNAP recipients. And we can all donate as much as we can to it over the course of a year, and then it get divided to the people who need it over the next year. And it be a revolving thing like that. And they get as much as we can give. But to put a gun to my head and rob me and just throw it into a black hole of debt, no. I don't think they should put a gun to my head and rob me and give it to people who are less fortunate than me. That's not their job. It's not they don't have the right. And they don't. They do not have that right. Nobody gave them that right. They just do it. And so we need to think about this, what we're going to do as patriots, who we're going to be, who we're going to support, who we're going to question, which to me is all of them. Question all of them. Question everything and everyone. And as I've said before, I'm not touting, I'm not promoting or something, some trying to get a bunch of people to come together and do a bunch of shit. We can do some shit if you want. If not, we won't do shit. But at least let's go into the fire with our eyes open. When the economy collapses and all this shit, we'll know why. I'm not going to be some sucker, some sheep going into the furnace, bowing and applauding and thanking the people who are, hitting me with a cattle prod and goosing me into the furnace. I'm not doing that. I'm not going out like that. At least I'm aware. I might end up in the furnace with the sheep, but at least I'm aware. I'm not thanking my captors and my betters, my superiors, the elites for stuffing me into the furnace. I'm not going to go down that way. I guarantee you that. All right, everybody. I'll leave you there with that. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to support the channel by becoming a member, I'll put that link down in the description, or you can head over to the channel page and become a member that way. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can do so by clicking on that super thanks button down there, or you can hit that hype button. That's a new thing that YouTube's doing to help smaller channels, so I appreciate that, those of you who hyped this video for me. Thank you very much. If you're interested in Gen X gear, we got some pretty cool stuff over there at Redbubble. Gen X things and Gen X branded stuff, t-shirts, coffee mugs, stickers, all kinds of cool stuff. But I'll leave that link down in the description too for any of you who are interested. If you can't or don't want to support the channel in any of those ways, you can always do so by sharing these videos on your social media. That helps out one hell of a lot, so thank you very much to those of you who do that. And if you have any ideas for future episodes of Gen X Thinks, please put those down in the comments. Or you can email us, and the email is genxthinks@gmail.com. And as always, stay frosty, Gen X, and I'll see you on the next one.